Okay, so first thing you've got to do is remove the exhaust. You jack your car up as you would normally do and support it on axle stands. You've got 4 bolts holding the front of the exhaust to the back end of the exhaust here. So you've got the flexes here onto this part. You'll have to excuse the state of the exhaust. I bought this cheap when I first got the car. It's done the job, but you know, times have come now where I'm able to custom make an exhaust for the car, so that's going to be coming down and away. It works, it sounds good, but as you can see, a lot of the exhaust is the stock exhaust, and all that's been done is a deletion of the mid boxes here that normally sit around here, and over the back I've had it's got them tailpipes on the back there, the back boxes. So to remove the exhaust, like I say, you need to undo these rubber mounts here. There's one here and there's one on each back box, one that side and one on this side, and the 4 bolts that hold the front end just here. So you've got one there, one there, one there and one there, and they're either a 15 or a 17mm socket. So let's get them cracked off and get the exhaust out of the way. So that's the best way, I think. That side, spin it around, that side, and eventually it pops off. So you've got the you've got the 17 here and the 15 on the back, but because the gap between here and the chassis of the car, I've put the 17 on the ratchet, and hopefully I can get the buzz gun up around enough to undo it. Okay, that one's lost a bolt somewhere, so I'll have to find a nut, sorry for that. So that one's got those other nuts in the foot. And then there's just this one and this one here. It's not easy doing this sort of work on the ground, but it is doable. Can't reach, trying to get further under the car. Let's try it. Here first. Nope. Okay, so I might have to get a 15mm ratchet on there or something. Just get this one out now. I'm going to get a 15mm spanner on this side and the ratchet here so I can get it off, and just get the trolley jack and jack it up here so I can undo the back end of the car, and then I should be able to just lower it down gradually. That should come out of there really as well. that's not a 15 like the rest for some reason. You just 17. Pass to that then. It's been such a long time since I've worked underneath this car. No, definitely both sides are 17. So I'm going to grab another 17. I've got my breaker bar at hand, so I'm just going to use that with another 17 on it. Okay, so let's get the trolley jack underneath here, take the weight, then we'll pop this last bolt out. And then just got to get that bolt out, and that will take the weight off this end so I can work at the other end. So let's see if I can grab that bolt. Oh, sorry. There we go. Okay, so we're at the back of the exhaust now. I'm going to undo the two 70mm bolts. There's one this side and one identical on the other side. Remove this bracket and it should lower it down. So. Get a pick. Fine. There we go. What I'll do is I'm going to leave it like this. I'll do the other side so it can hold the weight, and then we'll lower it out of the way. Buzz off this one. I'm going to get a 70mm spanner on this one. I ain't got the room under the car here for that now. Undo this 17 here. I'm having to use a spanner on this one because I ain't got the room to get the buzz gun underneath. And use a pick to drop it down. So let's get these 70mm bolts down. Take the weight off of it a sec. There we go. Put these to the side. Oh. Right, it's caught on the plastic guard here, so I'm going to have to get a screwdriver, and I'll tell you what is catching it is when I got this exhaust, the bloke that welded it together, he welded a bracket, you'll see in a second, onto the actual back box, and that's what's catching now. So if I can do that, there you go. I'll show you this in a second. Let me just finish getting it down. And there's one on this side as well. That's the exhaust down. Let me show you this, what I was on about. So this is what I was on about. They've welded the bolt, the bracket, to the actual box, rather than put the bracket like I've done. I had to go and cut this off, as you can see, and buy the bright bracket for it. And it's the same battery bank and light to keep the phone powered up. It's the same on this side as well, look. So that's why this exhaust, I'm going to pull it out and you're going to see the state of it. Like I said though, it's done the job. It sounds really good, and my friend was just helping me out, doing me a favour, letting me have it cheap. So if I pull it out and show you what it actually looks like, and then you'll see why I'm in a better position. Okay, so I'm going to drag it out now. So like I said, it's not the best of things. It's mainly a delete they've done here, and it's a lot of stock exhaust still here. But what I paid for it off my mate, because he wanted it gone out of the way, it done the job at the time. But I'm in a better position now to sort this out properly, so I can get on with removing the subframe now. Let's get rid of this thing, get it out of the way. Right, so get for a jack, and I'm gonna aim to jack it up around the centre of it here. Now the exhaust is down. There's where this exhaust hanger bracket is, there's like an oval shape behind it. Just jack it up from there, dead in the centre. Right, now I'm going to move the camera back so we can see the wheels coming off the ground. Right, I'm just going to leave it there. I'm just going to check with the axle stands to make sure they sit under the sill. Okay, so off camera I've just positioned the axle stands under the seals. I've used a bit of foam padding from a mat. This confirms that I'm going to need to get a bigger trolley jack that lifts higher, because these are only halfway up and the trolley jack's maxed out. So if I want to get this up another notch on the axle stands, another couple of inches, this ain't going to lift it unless I put another bit of wood in there. So let's lower it down slowly, and we can start releasing the wheels. All the nuts are undone on the wheels, so it should buzz off quite nicely, and then it'll just be a matter of undoing all the bolts. There's about 10 bolts on the subframe. So just slowly lower it down. And we're down. It's always nerve-wracking when you do that, because you don't know if it's going to stay stable. But there's plenty of room to work, and I'm looking at the rust on the subframe. There's the bolts here and the trailing arms and everything. Yeah, and I've also noticed something else, and I'll show you in a second. And I'm going to have to work out why I've done it. But what I have noticed, if you look on this side, I've got the 2 orange bushes from Flowflex. On this side, don't know why, but I've missed one for whatever reason. But luckily I'm dropping the subframe out because that one looks like it's busted. So I don't know why. Maybe I was in a rush to do something else, or I was on my way out or something and I had to quickly stop. But I'm gonna lubricate. Oh, no, I've just cracked. So while I'm under here, there's a few things I'm going to be doing. I've noticed the heat shields are knackered. If I tilt the camera like this, you can see just here the bracket. It's like I've done this one before, and it looks like this one's going to need to be replaced. So what I'll probably do is I'll see if I can hunt some of these out, or make another mount like this just to tie it up. And I believe the other side's like it. Let me flip the camera. So here's the passenger side. There's one missing here. I don't know what these little screw bits are called, like the heat shield bolts, nuts. But there's one here on this side that needs doing as well. So I'll sort that out. And whilst I'm down here, under here, like I say, I'm going to check all the brake lines and everything else that you wouldn't normally be able to get access to that runs across the top of the rear subframe. So there's 10 bolts to do this. I'll flip the camera and show you. Under these bolts here, they're 15mm bolts on the suspension arm. There's one here, one over the back, and the same on this side. A 15 there and a 15 at the back. And then for the bushes on the subframe, they're 15mm. There's 4 of them, and over the back on the sway bar, you've got, I believe it's about an 8 or 10mm. And drop that down, and I believe that's it. So what's next is to get the wheels off on both sides. Their lug nuts are already loose, so I just buzz them off and put the wheels under the car about halfway down, just for extra support, just in case, for extra safety, in case they actually come down. Shouldn't do, it's quite sturdy on these axle stands. So let's get the wheels off and crack on with the job. Okay, so we've got the passenger wheel off. I've done the same on the driver's side. It's all done. So all that's left to do now is drop these suspension arms with the 15mm bolt here. There's 4 of them in total, 2 this side, 2 this side. Then there's the 15mm bolts that are holding the actual subframe into the chassis of the car. So I'll undo them, and then 8 or 10mm for the sway bar on the back there, one there. And obviously one over the back there. And what I did mention, forget to mention, sorry, should I say, is I'm going to have to remove the 15 or 17mm nut off of the drop link to help lower it down. Don't know why I forgot to mention that, but I just overlooked it. Easily done. So let's get everything undone and get it lowered down. Small sway bar just so I can try and levy it out of the way like that. And then what I tend to do is put the nut back on there just so you don't lose it. Do this exactly the same on the other side. So we're going to get this 10mm off just here. camera nearly fell off it. Then what we're going to do is undo this one. This is 15, and the same one on the rear end of this. So we've got the 10mm undone here on the sway bar, drop link removed, which is a 17 in this case. Sometimes they may be a 15. And then we've got the 215 suspension arms removed from here, one on this side and this side just here. And then all that's left on this side to undo are the two 15mm bushings here and here. That's actually holding the subframe into place. I've just got to undo the other side now, but before you undo these two bolts here, I'll talk to you again in a second. Put your trolley jack underneath with your lump of wood, just take the weight, so when you undo them it won't drop on your head, which will give everyone a great laugh, I'm sure, but it won't be for me because it'll give me a whopping headache. So let's go to the other side and crack all the same bolts off on that side. That took a while to come out of there. So we're pretty there now. There's just 4 bolts to go. I'm going to get the trolley jack and I'm going to support the subframe underneath before I undo these bolts. Okay, so we're going to start off on the driver's side and undo these two here. Hopefully they come away easy. No, so what I'm going to have to do is get the breaker bar out and crack these off with the breaker bar. So I've got my breaker bar. Let's hope this works. Alright. And I'll have to do the same on the back one. Okay, they're cracked off. Whilst I'm at it, I might as well do the other side as well. That one weren't done up that tight for some reason. And you know what? I don't actually know why I didn't do this. I can't remember. It was a while ago. It was about 2 years, maybe 2.5 years ago. I don't know why I didn't do that one. There would have been a reason at the time. But I'll sort that out away from the car now. So the bushing on this side, this rear one, does look completely knackered. So, right, all that's left now is to buzz them ones out. Okay, that's all the 4 bolts out. So technically I should be able to lower the subframe now quite easily. So let me lower and see what happens. Keep your hands on it as you're doing it as well, I've just realised, if you can. It's down on one side. We're completely on the floor on one side. And that is the subframe down. It weren't too bad doing it on the ground, I must admit. It don't look too bad of a condition actually. It looks like a lot of surface rust, so we should be good to prep it. I'm going to sand it back, de-rust it, and give it some TLC, you know, black paint, and make it look better again. So, and I'm going to install, if I can find it, the other orange bush from Flowflex, because I can't remember why I've left that one out. So let's slide this out and have a closer look at it. there we go, and it's all out. See, it's not in bad nick. The sway bar looks like it could do with a bit of TLC. Could have probably left the 10mm bolts in place, to be honest, knowing it comes across like this. I might actually look at getting a replacement one of these. Let's give it a clean up first, I think, and just see what's the damage. Get this sorted out. That's still puzzling me, but we'll sort that out. Just give it a bit of TLC. So let's have a look at underneath. Yeah, the underside of it looks like it's in better days, but then when you think about it, this side is actually facing the road, and it's going to get everything thrown up at it. So maybe I'll look at getting a new sway bar. It looks like just a lot of surface rust. So yeah, can't complain. The suspension arms ain't in bad nick, so just give them all a clean up, lick of paint, and it should all be good to go back. So yeah, let's crack on. So guys, I'm going to leave the video here and continue in another part. All that's left to do now is de-rust it, clean all the rust off as much as I can, and then use some rust treatment product like I used in a couple of videos ago on the little brackets that hold the sway bar in. And then I'm going to paint it with some anti-rust paint, primer stuff, and then give it a coat of black paint, put all the bushes back in, put some new sway bars, not sway bars, sorry, the lower suspension arms in, and then put it back in the car. So if you're enjoying the video so far, leave a like, comment what you'd do if there's anything different, and if you're a new viewer, consider hitting that subscribe button. It's much appreciated. So until the next SE video, which should be soon, see you next time. Bye for now guys, thanks for watching.